the game that I think could be the most just okay game I've ever played, right? It's an RPG, it's open world. Is it good? Let's have a chat about that. If you enjoy this content, go check out my Twitch, subscribe, or whatever. I don't know what people do for engagement anymore. Avowed is about you, a demi-human, a godkin, I think it is, who, with, you know, moss growing off him, trees, fungi, you know, like the things that the women love fungi, baby. They love a plant daddy. You are a godkin, a dying race, one of the few left in the world, all right? And you are summoned by your savior and emperor to go and help alleviate the stresses of an unconquered land, because zealots are pretty hard to control. Who'da thunk it? I find this game to be maybe one of the most confusing games for me, because I have had a tie-in of both interest and boredom simultaneously multiple times in this game. I can't find the balance. I'll be honest. I'm like shell-shocked from how often I felt good and bad playing this game, but let's get into the finer details. Essentially, you are here to conquer or help or resolve the conquering or resolution of this land that is like godless and it's just a bunch of people that are lawlessly living there who, you know, you'd think you could just continue letting be lawless, but apparently not, right? You gotta conquer Anyway, I get it. I'm a man. I conquer things all day. What was I saying? You're taken on and taken aback when you go to sleep and you lie on your back at night, and then you vividly dream about a sexy little voice saying, "Oh, what happened to you, Godkin? What did historically happen?" The game lore dumps me every third rest at a camp, and I don't care. And it's not that I should care or that the game is necessarily bad. I just personally don't understand why the game feels the need to lore dump me that hard so much. It's good and bad simultaneously because I understand some of the story, but I'll be honest, I'm kind of lost or a little bit checked out because I'll go from fighting and exploring the caves and finding my 200th, you know, legendary item, only for there to be a sexy little voice going, "What happened in the Empire? What was the choice that you made there? Why did he feel that way?" And I know somebody's gonna stand here who really loves the lore and goes, "Well, Rheezzy, let me tell you." But I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's talk about the locations and explorations. So as I said, this is an open world game, which means that the world is... it's open to you, open to your cheeks. Now, there's various locations and there's various areas and cities, so I'm not gonna get dug down into it's so expansive. Let's talk about like what it looks like. So, I mean, it's basically what you would think it is. It's, you know, running hills, waterfalls, secret places behind every second waterfall, which becomes a little less like, oh my God, I wonder what's behind this waterfall. And it turns into, I better check this waterfall. And the same thing goes for, oh my God, what's happening in this derelict cave or house? To, I bet I'm gonna find 5 notes in this house describing the person, and I'm gonna think like environmental gameplay. I don't care. Maybe it's because I had gastro while I was playing this. In this game, you will discover many people. There are a lot of side quests, and a lot of the side quests can end in you making like some sort of moral choice. Essentially, you meet various people, make choices, complete quests, which often intend for you to fast travel to a location, have a conversation with a person, then fast travel back to another place to have another conversation with another person, and then fast traveling to another location to have another conversation. Essentially, you just having 3 conversations, spending 15 minutes in loading screens. There's a lot of side quests. The choices you make can affect the game as a whole. You might meet another person down the line that helps you with another quest, or you might have killed somebody so somebody else remembers it. That part of the game is pretty goddamn cool, I'll be honest with you. I like the idea that the game has choices within the quests lines that could absolutely affect the main or other side quests. Like, essentially you help an old couple that are also runaways, and they're in trouble because crime. And you know, because I helped somebody a little bit earlier get out of a jail cell in the tutorial area, turns out she actually helps me get them on the barge without me having to spend my own cold hard cash. So, you know, that's I mean, that's a spoiler if you play the game, but I don't care. Regardless of this, I spend most of my time fighting as fast as I can and running into caves and checking houses and killing big dudes so I can get legendary weapons to hand in bounties, which I need to run as fast as I can to each location so I can kill the big guy or do a quest so I can get ahead to level up to be able to explore, because exploration isn't tied to exploration. You're not like, oh, I wonder what's over there. At one point I realized, I wonder what, that's probably a place that I'm out leveled. I can't go to that location. I'm probably too weak. So I guess I'll do the quest lines to level up to make sure that I have a high enough level to get to the really dangerous areas. Because this game, the areas are tied to difficulty, which are tied to levels, which just ties my in a knot. If it doesn't just fart on my head, all right? If it doesn't push back my receding hairline further when a game goes, you need raw materials to upgrade those weapons, that armor, right? If you want to get better armor, if you want to get better weapons, you need raw materials, all right? And we could have you pick up raw materials, right? But that's boring, and I'd agree. So alternatively, well, you pick stuff up as well, but alternatively, I feel like I'm going crazy styles when they're like, hey, you know what you should do? You should pick up every single common item, every single piece of armor, every single common musket, every single common sword, and then break them down individually one at a time, and then go to your camp so that you can go upgrade your weapons. But here's the caveat, okay? You've got the bun. It's not cream filled though, all right? It's not just like it's not that, okay? Here's the cream. Common items or common raw materials become pointless so quickly. The only thing that common items are good for is crafting food, because potions you'll burn through them so quickly, and you can make food that's really good for, you know, mana regen or health regen or status effects or boosters or poison, you know, poison resistance or poison curing poison. When we talk about like iron and stuff, it's pointless. You know why? Because even in the first area, you're gonna find like 6 legendary weapons and like 2-3 things of legendary armor, and you're gonna go, why would I upgrade this common or, you know, rare, you know, regular sword when I could have this pistol that shoots lightning? Or I could use this sword that has a fire status effect that I can upgrade with shit that is not found on common items. Common dumping is ridiculous, and it's a plague. It's a plague of the RPG. It's a plague of the goddamn RPG. Ooh, I have to pee a little bit. So the next thing I want to talk about is the class system. Ranger, magic, melee. It's what players crave. Here's the problem though, and I'm gonna wiggle a stick at you about this. Here's the problem though. As cool as that is, it always comes with the same issues. A companion-based system where I can't romance, by the way. I can't romance the guy who plays Garrus. I want to go fin to fin with him and I can't do it. The problem is that the class-based system is irrelevant, since the companions I have pull almost no aggro and they do almost no damage and they almost have no health, regardless of how much I upgrade them, right? And I can't give them armor and weapons. So what do? You don't play Ranger, first of all. Second of all, you play melee or magic. And here's the thing. Magic does a lot of damage and does AoE, right? Until you get to like level 8, you're gonna run out of mana constantly, okay? But here's the thing, if you do a lot of damage, you pull a lot of aggro. And since your companions aren't gonna pull aggro very well, they're also not gonna do a lot of damage, and they also kind of go down pretty quickly. What's the point, right? So what you do is you go melee. The truth is and it's a big old tip, and I'm gonna give you the thickest, widest tip I possibly can. The tip is that you should go melee, because you're gonna not be able to wear heavy armor, since you get taxed on like the cost of spells if you wear heavy armor with the magic, all right? So you go melee, because then you can take more shots, you have more health, do more damage, there's more variance in weapons, and you can basically just tank stuff, because the game doesn't have that. So what's the outcome? Is the game good? Yeah, it's fun, right? Is it a game that I'd recommend? Probably not. I probably wouldn't recommend this game to anybody to actually buy, right? If you go on Xbox and you pay $13 for a PC Game Pass or an Xbox Game Pass, you can play it there, and that's where I'd recommend it, because as I play this game, I realize more and more that I don't think it's good. I don't think it's a game I'd recommend, and I don't think it's a game that deserves to be purchased outright. It is a game you play and then you quickly forget about. Am I being too harsh? Probably. I had gastro, and then I had conjunctivitis while I was playing this game. So maybe I wasn't in the best headspace, but I definitely can see that this game is a whole myriad of different games, but nothing is done quite amazing, right? The combat doesn't feel awesome. The weapons don't feel amazing. The concepts are there, and some of the stuff is unique. The grimoire is a good concept. The idea it can only be offhand is cool. The idea of a wand being this ranged weapon built specifically for mages, right? There's so many things that the game does kind of have like these little cool ideas, but ultimately, overarchingly, it kind of feels like the game is just a conglomerate of good ideas put together to be just an average game with dusting off a couple of unique ideas, right? Doesn't mean that it was a waste of time. People are probably going to enjoy it. There's probably people who completely disagree with me. And for those people, I say, comment below what you think about Avowed. I might be wrong, okay? I was shitting myself at the time. But what I want to say is, if you enjoyed the content, subscribe, like, comment below. Helps me a lot. If you want to see this live, I'm going to be live every single day at about 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what time that is where you are, but take a guess. Try your best. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for checking out. I'm getting back into doing this as best as I can. Who knew that being a parent would drain me of all of my wants and needs? Anyway, I appreciate you guys.